Everyone, so I've been seeing lately a bunch of videos on TikTok from foreigners living in Japan, where basically they complain about the medical treatment, doctors ignoring them, disrespect from doctors, etc. And basically, it's more often from women and from people of color. And as a Mexican transgender woman living in Japan, there's this combination of just utter bullshit that goes on in doctors' minds when I go get myself some treatment. And my worst one, well, before I explain that, I have to tell you like the HRT that I take, the hormone treatment, I have to go every 2 weeks to get a hormone injection. And there's no clinics in my area that do that. Basically, they just reject me. They have the medicine because it's the same treatment that they do for menopause, and they have it on stock. They just don't want to do it because I'm transgender. Um, I don't like it's just transphobia, and so I have to go to a different city every 2 weeks. It's 2 hours by train. It's pretty expensive, but I still have to do it. And after taking the treatment for a while, I still have to check if my body is healthy enough with the treatment. So basically, I have to get my blood levels checked, my liver function checked, my yeah, everything. And so I decided, well, I don't have to go to the another city to to take that blood test. I could take the blood test here because they are rejecting the hormone treatment. They aren't rejecting just a normal blood test. Are would they reject? But yeah, they did. They did at every point in the city that I went to. Basically, they told me no, they don't do that kind of blood tests, or no, they couldn't help me because I don't have a recommendation. So I got a recommendation from my doctor, and to a hospital I went to. Basically, I asked them for the details, like I need to get this and this and this and this checked. They gave me the prices and everything. And what happened was after they asked me all this stuff and I gave me the prices and I had hopes that I could go through with this, um, they called the doctor. No, they asked me, why am I doing this? And I told them, well, I'm transgender and I'm taking this treatment and I need to know how my body is doing. And they basically called the doctor, came all the way down to the reception and explained to me in person, like, we don't treat people like you, please go away. It was so shocking. I basically I got kicked out from a hospital. They refused to just take a blood test. I didn't even need an explanation. I know my levels. I know what they mean. So yeah, that was pretty shocking and depressing. And I have more, so stay for part two. Bye, everyone. Part two of the worst experiences I've had at the doctor's office in Japan. So, okay, where I live, there's not many clinics available. So, either I go to a big ass hospital, which takes a lot more money for me to treat something simple like a cold or some fever or some other less serious symptoms that I would get. I would have to go to a local internal medicine clinic, which there are not so many where I live. There's actually just one, which is within distance of a walk or a bike ride. So I usually go to that one, or I used to, because after this experience I stopped going. So yeah, one time I had this like pretty bad cold. I had a fever. I had all the runny nose. Like I was feeling pretty bad, and I thought, okay, I can spend the money. I can go to the hospital, not to the clinic, and get myself some treatment. And as a foreigner, you always get the questions like, Nihongo jozu desu ne. You're also like, where are you from? What are you doing? What are you studying? Which is it's like pretty common. But after he spent some time getting to know what I do for sport, he also asked what was my religion, which is pretty weird for a doctor's appointment. Religion is a pretty already like taboo concept in Japan, so maybe he was like I don't know, trying to speak about something he doesn't get to speak up with other patients, or maybe he's doing it to all the patients. I have no idea, but it's pretty fucked up. He asked me what the religion was in Mexico, and I told him like, okay, so it's like Catholicism, Christianism is the most common religion in Mexico, but it's not all of them. And then he asked me what my religion was, and like I didn't have anything to hide. And I thought it was weird, but I told him like, okay, I'm a pagan. I research other religions. I do some Buddhism here and there, some Shintoism here and there. I just explained that, and he got mad. He asked me if my parents had that religion, and I told him like, no, my parents are Catholics. I just decided to move away from that because it wasn't for me. And he got big mad. Like, he was like, you're not supposed to disrespect your parents like that. How can you betray the religion you were born as? Once you're baptized, your religion has to stay the same. Like, it says so in the Bible. And he had a Bible with him, and he started reading excerpts from the Bible. So I got a Christian doctor for some reason, and he was like pretty upset with me, which is something that doesn't happen in Japan. Christians are so few and low in numbers in Japan to begin with, which is really weird. But then when I asked about, like, again, the blood tests, I wanted to know if the blood tests, because I was asking around. And he also said that that was a sin, that I shouldn't disrespect my body like that. Like, God made me a certain way. And I was like, this is Japan. Why is this happening to me? This is a Japanese doctor. What? Thank you. It is disrespectful and disgusting, and it's bullshit. And the thing is, once I found the clinic that actually does my hormone injections, that doctor is not good. It's not good to me. But he's the only one where I can get this treatment in the entire prefecture. I would have to go somewhere else just to get my hormone treatment. So I have no way to like complain. But yeah, like for example, when I have any sort of ailment related to the hormones, or like when I want him to consider maybe adjusting the dose, or like when I was telling him like, hey, I got a period pain now. What do I do? Like he was like, that's not a thing. Trans people don't get periods, and I was like, what? Well, it fucking hurts every month. It's like, what gives? No, he wouldn't believe me. And also, when the injection happens, like, it's always in the butt. And it's a pretty big injection, so you have to massage it a little bit. But I feel like he massages it a little bit too jiggly, a little bit too lingery. And I can't complain because it's the only place where I can get my treatment. So I'm used to it now. It's something like I have worse complaints about that doctor than the fact that he jiggles my ass every once and then, because maybe it's just me. Maybe that's how you do it when it's a big injection. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty bad. On the topic of being ignored, I also went to get my ADHD diagnosis at some psychiatric clinic, which is the only in the area, by the way. It happens a lot in this fucking Inaka. There's nothing. There's nowhere where I can get checked. So, like, I went to this one psychiatrist and I was telling him, like, I can't focus, I'm burning my food, like, I'm losing my stuff, like, I have this, like, all the whole emotional control problems, and, like, he didn't believe me when I told, like, he asked me, do you lose stuff often? And I was like, and the moment I said he was like, no. And I was like, no, yeah, I pretty much lose stuff all the time. And he kept the no. Basically, he didn't believe any of the shit I said, or didn't wait until I finished what I would explain. And the only thing I got was like an ADHD tendencies. I didn't get the full diagnosis. And I still struggle to this day with my ADHD every day. Especially it got bad after COVID. And I have nowhere else to go because there's no other psychiatry clinics in this Inaka piece of shit place. I want to move. Yeah, hopefully I can move and find a better hormone treatment doctor and a better ADHD treatment doctor, because I'm done with this Inaka treatment of in Japan.